The future of policing is Star Wars droids, and we're all f***ed. This is another one with Rob. Now, in case you missed it over the weekend, the website Engadget.com did this puff piece on NYPD's newest recruit, K5. Is that like Johnny 5? No, Johnny 5 would be way too much of an upgrade from this hunk of junk. I don't know what to call it. Let's throw a picture up of this K5, the robot droid that's going to be patrolling Times Square's subway station. Get a load of this thing wherever I put it up. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to look at it. This thing looks like R2D2. Well, no. Let's be honest. This thing looks like R2D2's asexual parents. Or maybe like R2D2 middle-aged if he let himself really go. He's hitting the oil can a little too hard. Or you know what this thing looks like? It kind of looks like a space pod that Elon Musk wants to send primates in, plastered with Tesla X logos all over it. He wants to send these primates to Mars, and this is what the thing looks like, doesn't it? Oh, jeez. It's just weird that New York and the mayor chose this out of all of the potential droids in the galaxy. They picked this one. Like, not even one with arms and legs. This one. This robotic traffic cone. I mean, the thing's only got weird. It's just weird. Like, they didn't even go for like a C-3PO. I've seen them at the tech conventions. They got the very human looking, what's it? Machina X? What was that movie with Moon Knight in it? Guy Oscar Isaac. You ever seen that? Machina? I forget. Where his girlfriend's a robot? Whatever. It was a long time ago. Leave me be. But they couldn't go for a C-3PO? You know, a droid where it like speaks every language. You can do the robot. It looks kind of cool. They didn't go with that one. I'm guessing the letters in C-3PO stand for computerized police officer. Huh? Ever think about that? Is a conspiracy theory to stay free to Russell Brand. Anyways, I want to read some of this Engadget article because this is fascinating and this is our future, folks. I mean, in New York City, crime has drastically dropped. Child poverty, child hunger is affecting 1 in 5 kids. So that is climbing. Wealth inequality, people facing poverty, that's all over the place. But what are we looking for in the future? Droid bots, R2 Police 2 to surveil us at subway stations. This is where our money, energy, and resources are going. Not to figure out solving hunger, which there's a ton of food that's wasted every day. Not that. We're going to pretend there's a crime wave and put droids everywhere. They're just surveillance droids, let's be honest. I lost the article. Here it is. All right. Oh my God. The funny thing about this droid is like, out of all, I mean, I guess it's very much in line for cops, but out of all the droids in the galaxy, you pick the one where its weakness is stairs or curb. I mean, look at this thing. That ain't going upstairs. That thing needs to be ramp accessible to get anywhere. If you're a criminal and you just head up one flight of stairs, you've gotten away. Whose genius idea was this? I mean, Mayor Adams has to have a buddy running this company, right? To be funneling money, government money, our taxes. Well, not mine. I'm not in New York, but you get the point. Jesus. Lord, give me the patience. Give me the patience to deal with these humans. All right. So the NYPD implementing a new security measure. R2 Police 2 at the Times Square subway station. It's deploying a security robot to patrol the premises. Good God, people. The authorities say it's meant to keep you safe, but we're going to find out how safe it can actually keep you when we read about its features, the tech specs. I wonder if they pulled up onto the lot, like a used car lot, and they get to go through all the droids. They were like, this one, but we want the basic model. We got to give her a test drive. You know what it reminds me of? Remember that cartoon show, Mask? in like the late 80s. I loved it. It was meant for like little boys because it was kind of Transformers, but no, it wasn't Transformers. It was like vehicles that could transform into something else. And the boy in the thing had a friend who was like a R2D2 ripoff, but then he turned into a scooter or a moped or something. And he had like pegs that folded out. I wonder if this thing has pegs that fold out. I think that what that long diatribe was just leading up to. Does it have handlebars? How fast can it go? Can you ride it? Inside of its tummy? Its little robot, its digi-tummy? Does it have a holding cell? Can you lock people away in there? We'll find out. Back to the article. Say it's meant to keep you safe. We're not talking about RoboCop like machines. Thank God. Because last I remember that movie, RoboCop, that guy had a thirst for destruction. And that's the last thing we need. Seriously, is RoboCop keeping people safer by blowing up half the city? Did anybody question that? Or were we just mesmerized at the explosions? He's not keeping anybody safe. If he's taking down half a building, going off one bad guy and ruining everybody's homes and displacing people and probably hurting a lot of the citizens, is he truly helping? These are philosophical questions, existential questions about RoboCop. And we got to ask them, because this is where our future's heading. Trust me, you don't think next year the NYPD are going to bolster their budget so they can hire C-3PO, computerized police officer? They want RoboCop. They just can't afford him yet. So they got R2 Police too. All right. So it's not RoboCop. No biped robots. That is horrifying. They're like, not yet. Not yet. Soon we'll have the T-1000 chasing after you. Not yet. It was made by a California-based company, Nightscope. That's their name? Was Valor Sniper taken? My God, Nightscope. I'd be embarrassed to run a company called Nightscope. And it's night with a K, by the way. Not like nighttime, like knight in shining armor with a scope. Albert Fox Khan. That sounds like a villain's name. He should be petting a cat and spinning around in a swivel chair when he announces that name. Albert Fox Khan. Oh, he should have maybe like Bane. How did Bane go? It might hurt for you. I don't know, Bane. I'm not going to try to do a Bane. I respect that character. He was the Occupy Wall Street before. Did that movie come out before Occupy Wall? You get what I'm saying. He was the OG trying to... I love that scene in the movie. Where they're like, there's no money here, you idiot. And he's like, why? Why are you here? The Bane's getting better. By the end of this podcast series, I'll have nailed Bane. I'm just going to do the whole episode in Bane voice. Suck on that. Why would I say that to my audience? What is wrong? I got some mental issues. All right. Albert Fox Khan, the executive director of privacy rights group Surveillance Technology Oversight Project. That's a terrifying... Does that not sound like Skynet from Terminator? And they claim to be a privacy rights group? I feel like this should be a George Carlin bit. You're a privacy rights group called Surveillance Technology Oversight Project. I'm sorry. That name doesn't sound like you're into anybody's privacy, but except for invading it. All right, Albert Fox Khan. These people are hilariously villainous. And we're funding them. Does that not horrify you? That's terrifying. This is what our future is investing in? My God. No wonder they're trying to ban books. Next, they're going to start banning movies. They're like, nobody can watch Judge Dredd or Terminator. We don't want you to get a clue of what we're doing. All right. So this guy that runs a privacy rights group and called it surveillance oversight has a less flattering description for it. He told the New York Times that this robot is like a trash can on wheels. Yo, if that is your pitch and you're going on Shark Tank, I'm sorry. Not even Mark Cuban is funding that. How is your tagline? Come and enjoy the come and feel safer with the K5, our security droid, our R2 police 2. It's like a trash can on wheels. Just to think that our tax dollars are going to a trash can on wheels is the perfect metaphor for what is happening in society right now. At least he was honest. I give him that. Albert Foxconn. K5, the true name of the robot. I would have called it R2 Police 2. I think that's fine. Maybe a copyright. Maybe George Lucas was like, don't do it. K5 weighs 420 pounds. Cheech and Chong mobile. And it's equipped with 4 cameras that can record video but not audio. You're kidding me. So this thing is basically like a Roomba with a security cam on it. But not even a good security cam. I mean, the most basic security cams nowadays have speakers. This thing has less tech specs than a Ring doorbell. That's horrible. How much did it cost to make this thing? I'm in the wrong business. Because if they're spending millions on a big egg shape, a pod that rolls around and can only do video, my God, I could build that. I could duct tape a security camera to a Roomba, sell it to them, and I could at least pitch it as, guess what? Mine does audio too, not just video. And you can speak back on the audio. I mean, doorbells, you can talk to the people at the front door. This thing does none of that. Oh, what? Could they not go for the X model? Could they not upgrade to the luxury version? Was the sport model sold out on the lot? What is going on here? This is bananas. As Gwen Stefani said, it's Bananas. Is that how you spell it? I don't know. Unless I'm singing the song, I'm bad at spelling bananas. As you can guess from the image I put up somewhere, the machine doesn't come with arms. Even R2-D2 had those little extender arms that came out when he was forced to serve people, right? R2-D2 even had that little laser beam. He could at least tase people. This thing has none of that. What? I mean, I'm thankful. I'm thankful it has no arms, no legs. Its weakness is stairs or a platform. Or a towel on the ground that gets caught into its wheels. I mean, I'm grateful, but I'm just saying, New York, you're getting ripped off. Oh, man. The robot will patrol the station from midnight till 6. But first, it's got to map out the area. So if you see it, leave it alone. It's mapping. This thing doesn't want to fall off the ramp or fall off the platform and land on the tracks because this thing is like a rolling calamity. I can only imagine as soon as the bad weather hits and you get a little bit of icing, this thing's going to be sliding across the subway station. There's going to be so many viral videos of this 420-pound R2 Police 2 sliding across the ice, smashing into the train tracks and derailing the subway traffic for half a day because they need a forklift to move this thing. Jesus. All right. It says it's not quite clear if NYPD's machine will live stream its camera footage. If you want this to pay for itself, set up a website, do a pay-per-view. You got to pay to log in, and you can watch the live stream. And then if they potentially do get audio for this thing, you can make people pay extra or buy like Bitcoin and pay in Bitcoin to talk over the loudspeaker and yell at people in the subway. This is where the future is, folks. I'm telling you. I want to set this up. I mean, why else would you not have this rolling over expensive vacuum with a camera in it? Do vacuums have cameras in it? I would imagine they do because they got to do some kind of mapping technology. This thing should at least have a vacuum in it so it can clean the subway. That would make it at least worth the while. Right now, you could have just put up security cameras everywhere. So they're not sure if they're going to live stream. And they're not sure if law enforcement will be keeping an eye on what it captures. If no one's watching what this thing is seeing, what is the point? Who are you keeping safe? If this thing just has a internal hard drive that you gotta roll down to the station and plug into a computer and watch all the footage, how are you helping with the crimes? What are you gonna find these people eventually? Oh, we hope you got a dedicated person who can watch hours of video from midnight to 6 hours of video. You got to watch that in real time to see if there's a crime. Good God, who is in charge here? It says they'll review video in case of an emergency or crime. So in case somebody reports a crime and specifically knows the time that it happens, they can go back, pull the hard drive out of this thing and watch the footage. And hopefully this little robot was in the area at the time. Because remember, it moves around. So it's not like having security cameras everywhere where you can catch everything at once. This thing has to be in front of you. I mean, if a criminal knows when it's rolling by and just waits for it to go in the other direction, what do? Have you seen those? Do they have robots at your grocery store? They have them at mine. At Stop and Shop, Stop and Suck around here. And they put like googly eyes on them to make friends, and it just basically tells you that it's a spill. It's like they just could have taken the grocery store robot, stuck a hot glue gun to camera to the top. This is corruption, right? This is like some kind of bribery. Do they have some photos on Mayor Eric Adams? Do they know he lives in New Jersey? What is going on? It apparently won't be using facial recognition, though Khan is concerned that the technology could eventually be incorporated. I mean, facial recognition is in our phones. It's everywhere. Why do you think I still wear a mask? If you don't think they're employing facial recognition when you're out in the street, you know what? This is a different rabbit hole for another one. Different podcast, okay? But we can go into that. All you complaining about face masks, whatever you think the government's tracking you. The real tracking is when they're facial IDing you when you're out in the street. The mask keeps you protected. All right, enough. I'm going off the rails. They said the K5 doesn't have the capability to respond to actual emergencies and can't physically or verbally apprehend stuff. I'm telling you, if this little digi-tummy could open up and it just started a vacuum in the bad guys, that would be brilliant. I'd pay to watch that live stream. Oh, and it can't verbally apprehend. Why not give this thing like the Alexa voice or the Hey Siri, that's it. The Siri voice. Give it like a Siri voice, right? Please freeze. I don't know. Or give it like a different voice. You could probably get the rights to RoboCop and give it RoboCop voice. At least to make it be intimidating, you know? All right. I don't know what that beep was. I don't know if that came on camera. I'm really nervous at what that was. All right. Anyways, they're tracking me. It's R2 Police 2. He's tapped into my video cam. All right. It doesn't have the capabilities. The only real-time help it can provide is connect them to a live person to report an incident or ask questions, provided they're able to press a button on the robot. So this robot actually needs somebody full-time employed in case somebody presses a button on the robot and has an incident, which if they can make it to the robot. So you better pray that no old people have a slip and fall because they're not going to be able to reach the robot button. They're going to have to pray they're wearing their life alert. The life alert technology from 40 years ago is better tech than this robot. My God. The trash can on wheels, folks. You heard it from the executive director, Albert Kahn Fox. I got to work on the Bane. I'll do that off the air. Oh, let's see. What does this say? New York City's leasing K5. Johnny Five, still alive. If you've never seen Short Circuit, go watch it. At least Short Circuit had like the all-terrain wheels and arms. I mean, and that was what, the 80s? How have we regressed? This is just weird. I'm telling you, something's wrong here. K5 is leasing for around $9 an hour. That's not bad. For the next 2 months. Mayor sounds convinced that's worth what the robot can do, even though he ordered several agencies to reduce spending by 15%. He says, this is below minimum wage, no bathroom breaks, no meal breaks. That's what they want the workforce to be. They want us to be robots, right? They don't want us to go to the bathroom, have to eat, or be paid this minimum wage. By the way, minimum wage was supposed to be a living wage. Look it up in FDR's speech on the minimum wage. It was meant to be a decent living wage. Anyways, again, different podcast. Not going down that rabbit hole. I will abstain. But that's what they want. And all those people who are like, oh, if you raise the minimum wage, they're just going to automate your job. They're going to make robots take over. And I say, great. Let's implement a universal basic income, make the robots do the tedious work, make your coffee, police the streets, and us humans can make music. We can all form a band, right? We'd just have one big battle of the bands. It'd be awesome. We'll have painters and hemp, necklace makers. Remember puka shells? I'm good with the puka shells, but we could blow glass and stuff. I'd like to see a robot blow glass. Can they? That's making me nervous. I know they play music now, which is also scary. I don't want to hear robot poetry, okay? But the people who say you want to get paid more, they're going to automate your job. Look, bet you never thought it happened to the police, and it's happening right now, okay? Which I'm okay with, as long as these robots don't have tasers or legs, and their only weakness is stairs. Adams has a history of supporting machines as police tools. NYPD announced it's acquiring 2 DigiDog robots. What is that, like Pokemon? You got to catch them all? A DigiDog? It sounds like what is it, the Tamagotchi Digipets? I forget what they were called. My good God. Oh, for $750,000, almost $1 million. And they're only going to use it in hostage and other critical situations? You better get some more usage out of that thing, right? You better put some fur on that, take it around to classrooms and teach them about what is going to harass them in the future with these little kids. What is a DigiDog going to do in a hostage situation? Is it going to go in and make the guy feel like, oh, this is the companion I needed. I'll give up the hostages. Maybe I'll adopt a retired DigiDog. Are there going to be shelters for DigiDogs, do you think? Some people are just going to get them. They're going to be like, I don't want to care for this thing. You got to plug it in and charge it and oil it. I'm just going to give it to a shelter. That's the future we're looking at. They say it's quite a reversal from NYPD's decision in 2021 to cancel its lease on the Boston Dynamics Spot. Have you seen that dog? Horrifying. That should have been in the Terminator movie. That is, if Terminator had a dog, it'd be Boston Dynamics Spot. And I do not want that thing chasing me. Did that have teeth? I can't remember. They should have put teeth on it. I don't want to confront that thing with teeth, but that would have been a cool look. And DigiDog, horrible name. So, I'll put up some photos probably throughout the video. Night Scope, is that what they're called? Valor Target. Our future is filled with these cheesy R2, Police 2, droid making, surveillance state, police militarization, complex companies that all our state funding is going to go to. Like I said, 1 in 5 kids go hungry in New York every night. 1 in 5. And this is how our time, energy, and resources are being spent. It's crazy. This is nuts. But yeah, Nightscope on their website, they're like, oh, can handle weather in the Northeast and summers in the South. They're like trying to pitch it as like, don't worry, are you guys complaining it's cold? They need to go inside and warm up. This robot doesn't need to. But I would like to see this robot on ice. I'd just like to see that. Does it have all-terrain tires? I don't think so, and it doesn't look like it. All right. Thanks for watching another one, and I'll see you on another one with Rob. Don't forget to subscribe. Please. I need you to subscribe because I can't keep doing my day job. I need to make this thing work. And leave a comment. If you think I'm not funny or you think I missed a joke, go ahead. Leave it. I'll put it in next time, or I'll give you a shout out. Whatever. Just subscribe, like the video, leave a comment. Help me escape reality of the 9 to 5 so I can do YouTube and we can fight the droid overlord takeover together. Thanks.